Life is not designed to be easy. It is not a smooth, predictable path where everything aligns perfectly with your desires. Instead, it is riddled with hardship, pain, and obstacles that test you in ways you never expected. You will experience loss, disappointment, and failure. People will betray you. Circumstances will turn against you. Your own mind will sometimes become your worst enemy. And in those moments, you will be tempted to despair, to ask, why me? As if suffering is some kind of mistake, something that wasn't supposed to happen. But suffering is not an anomaly. It is the very fabric of existence. The question is not whether you will suffer, but what you will do about it. Will you let it crush you? Will you surrender to bitterness, resentment, and despair? Or will you stand up, take responsibility, and carry the weight of your life with dignity? That is the choice in front of you. No one else will do it for you. No one else can. Taking responsibility does not mean pretending things are easier than they are. It does not mean denying your pain. It means acknowledging that, despite the suffering, you have the power to act. It means deciding that, even when life is cruel and unfair, you will not collapse under its weight. Instead, you will bear it, and in bearing it, you will grow stronger. Responsibility is the antidote to chaos. It is the foundation of a meaningful life. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for the world to save you. You stop blaming others for your circumstances. You stop making excuses for why you can't move forward. Instead, you become the kind of person who can endure, who can overcome, who can look suffering in the eye and say, I will not be broken. And there's no greater power than that. Transformation doesn't demand radical upheavals. It thrives on the power of small, consistent actions. Consider the concept of improving by just 1% each day. At first glance, such a minimal change might seem insignificant, but over time, these tiny improvements compound, leading to substantial growth and development. This principle is often referred to as the 1% rule, emphasizing that small, daily gains can culminate in significant transformations. This approach aligns with the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, which focuses on continuous improvement through small, incremental changes. Rather than seeking immediate, drastic results, Kaizen encourages steady progress, recognizing that sustainable transformation is built on the foundation of consistent, minor enhancements. By focusing on manageable adjustments, we reduce the overwhelm that often accompanies large goals. Each small step not only brings us closer to our objectives, but also builds momentum, fosters resilience, and instills a sense of accomplishment. Over time, these small steps lead to significant, lasting change. In essence, embracing small improvements allows us to navigate the path of transformation with patience and persistence, ultimately leading to profound personal and professional growth. It is easy to seek comfort over truth. People do it all the time, choosing to believe convenient lies, ignoring the harsh realities of their situation, and avoiding anything that challenges their sense of security. But the problem with comfort is that it is fragile. And it can disappear in an instant when reality comes crashing in. The truth, however, remains, whether you choose to face it or not. And the longer you avoid it, the worse it becomes. To embrace reality means to stop lying to yourself. It means confronting the parts of your life that are broken, the habits that are dragging you down, the relationships that are toxic, and the responsibilities you have been neglecting. It is not an easy thing to do because truth often brings discomfort. It forces you to see your weaknesses, it exposes your faults, it demands change, but that discomfort is necessary. Growth does not come from comfort. It comes from challenge, from hardship, from stepping outside of what is easy and into what is real. Living in truth gives you strength. When you accept reality as it is, without denial, without excuses, you gain clarity. You stop wasting time on illusions and start working on what actually matters. You stop blaming others and start taking control. The truth is hard, but it is also liberating. It allows you to build something real, something solid, something that will not collapse when life inevitably becomes difficult. So, face the truth. Look at your life honestly. accept what is, and then take action to change what needs to be changed. Comfort will not save you, truth will. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation upon which success is built. No one achieves anything meaningful without first encountering setbacks, mistakes, and obstacles. The problem is that people are conditioned to fear failure, to see it as a reflection of their inadequacy rather than what it truly is, a lesson. Every failure contains information that tells you what doesn't work, where you need to improve, and what adjustments are necessary. The only real failure is refusing to learn from it. Think of anyone who has achieved greatness. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, every single one of them has failed, often repeatedly. Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before finally publishing Harry Potter. What separates these people from the countless others who never succeeded? They didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel. They took the lessons it offered and kept going. Avoiding failure means avoiding progress. It means staying in a safe, mediocre existence where you never risk anything, never test your limits, and never grow. But those who succeed are the ones willing to fail over and over again until they get it right. They understand that failure is not an end, it is part of the process. So if you've failed, good. That means you're trying. That means you're in the game. The key is not to let failure break you. Instead, analyze it, adjust your approach, and move forward with greater knowledge and resilience. The road to success is paved with failure, and the only people who truly fail are the ones who give up. Happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. One moment, everything feels perfect, and the next, reality crashes in with its responsibilities, struggles, and disappointments. If you build your life around the pursuit of happiness alone, you will always be chasing something that slips through your fingers the moment you think you have it. But meaning, that's different. Meaning is what sustains you when happiness fades. If you miss meaning, it is what gives you a reason to get up in the morning, even when life is difficult. Finding meaning requires something deeper than just pleasure or comfort. It demands responsibility. It demands that you aim at something higher than yourself, something that matters. Meaning comes from committing to something, whether it's your family, your work, your principles, or a cause greater than you. It comes from enduring hardship for the sake of something worthwhile. A life without meaning is empty, no matter how much pleasure or success you fill it with. But a life with meaning is one that can withstand suffering, loss, and uncertainty. This is why people who chase happiness often feel lost. They move from one moment of excitement to the next, thinking that if they just get the right job, the right relationship, the right circumstances, they will finally be happy. But when those things fail to provide lasting fulfillment, they are left with nothing. In contrast, those who build their lives around meaning are anchored. They can endure suffering because they know their pain is part of a greater purpose. So don't ask yourself what will make you happy. Ask yourself what will make your life meaningful. What responsibility can you take on? What can you build that will outlast you? What can you dedicate yourself to that is worth the struggle? Because happiness is a byproduct of a meaningful life, but meaning itself is what makes life worth living. Your posture is more than just a physical stance. It is a reflection of your mindset, your resilience, and your willingness to face the world as it is. When you stand up straight, shoulders back, head held high, you are telling yourself and everyone around you that you are ready to take on the challenges ahead. It is a signal of strength, not just in body, but in spirit. The world notices. People respect those who carry themselves with confidence. And more importantly, you start to respect yourself. Life will knock you down repeatedly. You will fail, suffer losses, and face moments where everything in you screams to give up. But staying down is not an option. The moment you refuse to get back up, you surrender to chaos, to despair, to the part of yourself that wants to shrink away from difficulty Every time you choose to stand up again, no matter how battered you feel, you prove that you are stronger than your circumstances. And standing up is not enough. You have to keep moving. Progress is not always fast. Some days it might feel like you are crawling, but forward is forward. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step. Action defeats stagnation. Motion builds momentum. No matter how heavy your burdens feel, carrying them with purpose is infinitely better than letting them crush you. So straighten your spine, face forward, take a deep breath, and take one more step, then another, because as long as you keep moving, you are still in the fight, and that means you haven't lost. Life will test you. It will throw suffering, failure, and hardship in your path, and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But you must not, because struggle is not meaningless. It is the process through which you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. You don't need to take massive leaps. Small improvements made consistently will transform you over time. The key is to embrace reality, no matter how uncomfortable, and to seek truth over fleeting comfort. Failure is inevitable, but it is also necessary. Every setback is a lesson, every misstep an opportunity to grow. Those who succeed are not the ones who never fall, but the ones who refuse to stay down. Yet success alone is not enough, because happiness, when pursued as an end goal, will always remain out of reach. What truly sustains you is meaning, the responsibility you take on, the things you build, and the people you serve. So stand up straight, face the world with strength and determination. Keep moving forward no matter how slowly, because every step counts. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. You have more within you than you realize, and the path to becoming who you are meant to be starts the moment you decide right now not to give up.